Hello and welcome back to part two of episode three, the Chronicles of USS Dharma. Um, Last time, when all our crew members were with us, we were diverted from our task, which was shepherding the Wahari spaceship towards New Wahar. Um, we were supposed to hand over the ship to uh, a good friend of Captain Nobunaga, Captain Marcel Depardieu, and the USS Nightingale. Um, Also, in that session, Renan Chan was promoted to lieutenant, and when underwent a promotion ceremony conducted by our uh, captain. Um, it was followed by some very interesting discussion between the two captains, Nobunaga and Depardieu, about um, the Dominion threat and the happenings at Deep Space Nine, in the Alpha Quadrant. Um, After the Iwahari ship was handed over to the USS Nightingale, you guys received a transmission from Admiral Talara about Carnia 7, and especially Morgan's Hope, which is a settlement on Carnia 7. Carnia 7 is the seventh planet in the Carnia system, and Morgan's Hope is a settlement on that planet. This specific planet has the right conditions to grow vineyards on a large scale. Pretty much the entire planet is dedicated to I wouldn't say the entire planet, pretty much the entire um, temperate belt of the planet, wherever the climate is temperate and right for growing vineyards, has been repurposed to grow vineyards. And there are settlements like Morgan's Hope all over the planet. But Morgan's Hope is the largest, and sort of like a planet capital, if you like to call it. Um, but this particular settlement is undergoing some strange phenomenon. Plants seem to be dying overnight. Wine seems to be going bad overnight, and which will then affect the wine production for the federation, which is a key component in the um, trade negotiations with the Ferengi, who seem to be particularly taken up with human wine, as they like to call it. Um, you guys make your way to Carnia 7, beam down to Morgan's Hope. You meet Sarita, who's the governor of the settlement, and she proceeds to take you to a household where the Mackley household, where they have a child who is 6 months of age, but is showing, seems to have grown um, to about 6 years. Physically, the child is 6 years, but mentally, the child is 6 months. Stalek, the medical officer, did a bunch of tests um, on the child, and nothing seemed out of the ordinary. Uh, Boss Hogg did a bunch of tests. So did Lyra, with respect to the atmosphere, the soil, the water, the plants around. And the only thing that stood out were a higher amount of tachyon particles. You also found these particles to be also surrounding the ship, which is now orbiting Carnia 7. And you were also able to detect the same particles emanating from the planet. Um, you then proceed to look at some of the what do you say storage houses that they store the wine in, and you find out that the storage houses, especially Boss, is extremely worried that the storage houses, which are built with tri-titanium alloys, are showing signs of uh, aging. which doesn't make sense. These things are supposed to last for hundreds of years. And finally, she takes you to Zane Knowles' vineyard. As you guys approach his vineyard, he incorrectly assumes Stalek is a Romulan and starts, comes running towards you, screaming about Romulans. You are able to calm him down, and upon further questioning, he uh, uh, talks about how he has seen Romulans about his property, testing the soil, testing the water, his plants, but nobody else can corroborate that story. You guys look around the property and find that there are certain odd-looking drill holes into the ground. You're not able to, kind of make out what it is, but it definitely looks artificial, nothing natural. And at that point, you guys kind of check in back with the captain. And we left off where Renan Chon has just made his report to the captain regarding the possibility of Romulans on Carnia 7, and Carnia 7 is clearly within Federation space, so it's unclear at this point what is happening. We take the action to the bridge, where Captain Nobunaga has just received the report from his lieutenant regarding Romulans on Kanya.
Yeah, and the captain looks very surprised. He gives like a frown and looks over to Commander Singh and says, "It looks like we might have Romulan interference down on the planet. I want someone to try to get a message out to Narinda Station with all this information that the lieutenant has given us."
Most definitely, Captain. It is indeed troubling. We are well within Federation space, and Romulans have signed a peace agreement with us of non-interference. It is unclear why they would be on this planet. I am doubtful, but then again, the situation on Morgan's Hope is also strange by itself. And Commander Singh kind of turns around and orders a ensign behind at the communication panel to send an entire report to Narendra Station, flagging it to Starfleet Command, Priority 1.
And Nobunaga, let me ask you a question, Zephyr, out of character. Was I told about the possible problems with the stability of certain alloys that might be aboard the ship by Boss Hogg? Do I know that?
Yes, Boss Hogg would have, at the end of the last session, Boss Hogg would have told you that he found structures that were basically, aging, and which doesn't make any sense because they're made of tritanium alloy, the same kind of metal that the USS Dharma is built with.
So Nobunaga would have engineering immediately begin to run scans on the alloy on the ship itself to make sure that there's no problems with the ship, and to raise shields, obviously, to keep the tachyon particles at bay.
Perfect.
Good.
And when you give that order, Commander Singh is able, kind of moves up to the console, and he raises shields and sends a message to engineering to start scanning the ship.
And then Nobunaga, he relays down to Chon, which I think we did this in the last session, but I'll kind of repeat it. Chon, I'm going to be beaming Stalek, Lyra, and Salas back to the ship. I'll be coming down personally with a security team.
Understood, Captain. We'll hold tight.
Then he clicks off the communicator and looks at Singh and says, You have the bridge, Commander.
Captain, best of luck down there. And Commander Singh kind of comes over to the chair as Nobunaga leaves the bridge. And the Nobunaga and his security team. Do you want to do anything before you leave?
He would check and see if they've got a response from Narinda Station or any response from engineering about any results they might have from. As he's walking, he is asking for updates.
Sure. And let me do this one thing. So you hear no response back from Starfleet Command. In these scenarios, it takes some time for them to kind of look at the readings, and then basically they will have analysts that try to see if what you've sent makes sense, or there's some sort of like inconsistency with the data.
Am I able to tell if they've received the message successfully?
Yes,
okay.
Yeah, your communication officer, the ensign over here, does tell you that the message has been successfully received.
Okay.
And they are looking into it.
Okay.
And at the same time, you get response back from your engineering team that so far the hull structure is at 100%. The tachyon particles are at a minimum affecting the hull. But that being said, we should spend as little time in this vicinity as possible, or fix the tachyon emissions as quickly as possible.
That's what I aim to do, he says, and then just clicks off and then heads to the transporter room to go down, grabbing his phaser as he does so.
Perfect. So
he gives an eye towards his quarters as he passes them, because I'm just assuming he walks by them, but he does not go inside. He has a thought to do so, but he does not.
Excellent. And back at Zane's Vineyard, Rin and Boss, you guys hear the familiar noise of where's that? The familiar noise of the transporter. And Captain Nobunaga and two officers from the security department on the ship appear or materialize right next to you. Just as a quick sidebar, the two security officers are ensigns Elliot Smith and Sylvia Nicola. I'm assigning Smith to where is that? To Swamp.
Picked some good ensigns for this one, Captain. I work with those guys, they're pretty good.
Sure hope we don't die.
You're wearing the right clothes for it. You gotta wear red so they don't see you bleed.
You don't.
This red really helps me blend in with the green.
So you guys are now all beamed down. Swamp and Salis, you have Swamp and Flora. You guys have access to those tokens. You should be able to move them around, and when you click on them, the macros should appear. Right. So we take it back to the scene. Captain, you have just beamed down to the planet.
Yeah, he immediately looks to find Sean and walks in his direction. All right, what do we have?
Yes, Captain, let me show you. And I would take him over to the scene where we found the boots in the hole, and then sort of point out the trail that leads up into the hills.
He nods and looks back to the two civilians. You two should try to find some place safe to go for the moment.
And Sarita looks back at you, Captain, and Captain, I didn't expect you to beam down yourself. Thank you so much for looking into this personally. Zane and I, we will head back to the village, and we'll try to keep everyone calm. back at the settlement, but we'll be head back, and we'll be at the town hall, awaiting news from you.
No need to get anyone's dander up. Just keep everyone calm, as you said, and keep everyone in town. I don't want anybody walking around and accidentally getting into trouble where they don't need to.
Wise words, Captain. I will ensure that.
He gives her a curt bow and then turns back to Chon, and he's like, all right, let's go. And he just starts walking kind of towards the direction of the path that he can see.
And then I'll fall in.
Cool. So you guys start heading up the path, and you can clearly see that there are boots on the ground, and there is definitely a trail heading up there. Sometimes you lose it, but Rinan is pretty good at tracking, and with the help of his security group, they are able to ensure that you guys never kind of steer off the trail too much. You kind of make your way up the hillside and into the mountains, and you get eventually what looks like a cliff face.
We're facing the cliff face.
Yeah, you're facing the cliff face.
And there's nowhere else to go. It just stops right there, kind of.
It just stops right there.
Nobunaga kind of looks up. The cliff is we can't reach. How tall is the cliff?
So you see where that line ends.
Mm-hmm,
That's where the cliff face is. So it would be something like a vertical climb in this fashion, and you would know. Like it's like it would be easy knowledge to your character that that climb is not just like unless you're like climbing the rock.
Oh sure, yeah.
While the captain's examining the cliff face and deciding our next course of action, Boss Hogg's going to be out to the side with his tricorder. He's going to be scanning the density and composition of the rock, as well as looking for any type of hidden power sources that might be emanating.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So
Sylvia will assist him with that, because that's actually what Sylvia was also going to do.
Nice. Okay, so in the case of Boss Hog, give me insight plus engineering. In the case of Sylvia, I want you to give me it would be insight plus security, and your focus applies. So let's do it one by one. Boss Hog, insight plus engineering with a task difficulty of 1.
Is that correct? There's 6 momentum in the pool currently?
Let me check. Yes, there is 6 momentum in the pool. That's where we left off.
I will spend 1.
Okay.
Let me read Incisive Scrutiny real quick. I need weak spots. No, it's not going to work. It's on machines.
Oh, well, you passed.
Okay, perfect. You did pass. And Sylvia, roll insight plus security, 1d20, just 1d20, and your focus applies. I get a test. Nice. Sorry, what was that, Sylvia?
Task difficulty 1?
Task difficulty 1 for you, yes.
Cool, I got
Oh,
2.
baby.
Oh, nice. Excellent.
I'll change who I am.
My new character is...
No, I have... You get the drop-down bar for all the characters you have access to.
He rolled the right one, I think.
Yeah, because it says her name in the box.
Yeah, I rolled the right one. I just had the wrong chat name.
Oh, you're fine, yeah.
The momentum I spent was replenished by untapped potential, but I rolled a red complication, and then I added 1 to the threat from untapped potential as well. I'm thinking I detected a landslide from unnaturally aging rock.
Sylvia will speak up and she'll go, Captain, there are footprints over here. They lead directly into the cliff face.
Yeah, the captain turns and nods and walks over there and is like, "Ha!" And he basically looks down, finds like a rock or something to that effect, and kind of like tosses it towards the cliff where the boots go into.
Boss would be fumbling, almost ready to smack the side of his tricorder when Sylvia speaks.
So it's kind of happening all together. So, boss, I just sent to your message.
And he'd be fiddling around with his tricorder, and it'd just be like, "What? Where? No. Oh! Be careful! I'm detecting the presence of cloaking shields of some kind."
So, and what I do as a GM for that set that you rolled is basically, as Sylvia says, "Hey, there are footsteps that go into the cliff wall." Nobunaga throws a rock at the cliff wall. Boss, you just realize that there's a cloaking shield around you, and before you know it, you kind of are too close, and you kind of go whack into the cliff wall. Little embarrassing, but you're able to kind of regain your composure.
Yeah, so when Nobunaga throws the rock towards the portion of the cliff where the boots look like they're going into, does it pass through?
It does indeed pass through, yes.
Yeah. He pulls out his phaser immediately. Ensign Sean, lead us in.
Understood, Captain. And get my phaser out.
Lieutenant,
right.
sorry.
Oh. Fine, old habits. Alright, everyone with me. Get that out. And
Does everyone else pull out their phasers as well?
Yes,
first man in.
definitely. Ensign Smith?
Mm-hmm.
He would like to be right next to Chan.
Okay, perfect.
My boy.
Yeah,
So we
and
will
Nobunaga.
watch their 6.
Yeah, Nobunaga tells boss to kind of stay. Ensign, stay in the rear, please. Help us detect anything that might be coming up on us. Keep the tricorder handy.
This looks a bit.
Okay, so just let me this, set you guys up, and perfect. Do you guys see the map?
Mm-hmm.
Do.
Okay, perfect. So you guys walk in through the cloaking field, and you are suddenly the entire scene changes. Instead of it being a cliff face, a rock, it's now like, metallic structure. Definitely looks like an outpost. And as the doors open and you peer into this dimly lit room, the overhead lights flicker and the smell of burning plastic and ozone permeate the room. From just a single glance, you realize that this is an observation post that the Romulans hastily converted to some sort of a large laboratory. Given the destruction, it's unlikely that anything will be salvageable. The computer banks that you kind of see in the distance and consoles have disruptor burns. Smoke pours out from holes in the wall, and holes through like power conduits. The floor is littered with pads. Pads are what I think it is, personal
Tablets.
Yeah, they're basically tablets. Yeah, their full form is, I think, personal access display device, and other equipment. The Romulans must have evacuated this facility in a hurry because they have destroyed some sophisticated equipment that would be difficult to replace.
And it looks like it's happened recently, right?
Oh yeah, Yeah, the smoke
Yeah.
is definitely recent. That seems to be coming out of this, all the holes in the walls and the power conduits.
And to Sean, it looks like they're trying to escape. Let's ruin their day. Let's get going, but carefully.
Yes, sir. Everyone be careful. Proceed quickly, but keep an eye out. I wouldn't put it past Romulans to leave traps behind.
Perfect. You guys have complete control over your tokens and are free to move them in any which way you would like to move.
Do you try to
Left.
see if I can discern any types of power sources that might be related to primary defense systems?
Okay, perfect. Boss, give me a reason plus engineering task difficulty 1. You currently have 6 momentum as well.
Is that a door that I'm next to?
Yes. Do you wish to open that door?
Let's wait until boss goes, and then we'll see what we're gonna do here.
It costs 3 momentum to spend 4 dice total.
More
3
than that, I think.
momentum. No, hold on. So you roll 2?
Yeah.
You want to roll 2 more? Yes, 3 momentum. It's a task difficulty 1, but yeah, you can choose.
Yeah, because we normally roll 2 die 20, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Mhm.
And if I want to do 2 more dice, that would be 3 points.
Yes, 3 points.
Yeah, I'll spend 3.
Okay.
Let's get him back.
Or generate a shitload of threat.
Oh my
Good
goodness.
thing you spent it.
Good.
Challenge.
It's a good thing you spent it.
Yeah.
Ooh. I'm loving it.
Somebody promote this guy so he doesn't roll anymore.
So, boss, you see that the power systems over here are predominantly set up for running the outpost. So power to all the systems that you see around, though they are burning. You also sense that the power is not running at full capacity. It seems to be like running at maybe a quarter of the capacity right now. You also realize that the outpost is not built for defense. You sense no power being drawn. You know Romulan technology enough from different Starfleet briefings as to what like different sentry guns would look like from a power profile. You see no such thing in the power draw.
Okay. Be fiddling around with his tricorders some more, like he's trying to compensate for interference, and he starts rattling it after a while. And as y'all are moving up, he goes, "Doesn't appear to be any signs of automated defense systems, Captain. Though I am receiving a high amount of interference. It could be from mineral deposits and iron deposits in the surrounding mountains themselves."
Alright, so I would, as we come up on this door, I'd literally, alright, I'll clear this room. You two keep moving. And then I'd wait for them to get a bit by and then press the button to open this door.
Okay. So the door opens, and inside you see that it is an office. There is this seems like this is a chair. There is some sort of like a case with a bookcase, but there are no books in it. All the computer systems over here on the table are all have phaser disruptor burns. And there are data pads just kind of strewn around as well.
Yeah, Captain's like, keep going. None of this looks salvageable. Don't worry about that anyway. We need to catch the Romulans if they're still here.
Is this a door?
Sylvia, yes, that is a door.
I would like to open it.
Perfect. So you open the door. And in here you see that it's mainly living quarters. You find that there are 4 beds in each of the 4 corners of that room. The beds are neatly made. You see that each room actually has what do you say? So Sean and Elliot, wait there so that I can catch up with you. Yeah, so Sylvia, you see that all the beds are made. There are personal effects kind of in that room. Each room has personal effects. There seems to be clothing. Clearly, people were living here, and they seem to have left in a hurry, leaving behind personal artifacts, clothing, everything that, if somebody were to leave this place as if their mission were done, then all of this wouldn't be here. But clearly somebody has left in a hurry.
So could I go through some of the stuff to, like, check to see if anything seems out of place? Like, I'm going through more, not checking if they are Romulans, but more checking if they aren't.
Sure. Give me a reason plus security for that.
And what is the difficulty?
This would be difficulty 2.
And do we still have momentum? Or have we
Yes, you do. You have 4 momentum.
Then I will spend 1.
Okay.
And I don't have an applicable focus, right?
No, you don't have an applicable focus for this one.
Nice roll.
Oh, hoo, hoo.
Guess I'll just
then.
beat the fuck out of the test then if I don't have a focus.
So
Give us 1
Sylvia-
momentum.
Oof, nice.
He's a badass.
2.
Nice. So Sylvia, you see that all the rooms are occupied by Romulans. The clothing is definitely Romulan. There seems to be a couple of data pads, and you see that they are mainly like information about Organ's Hope, information about Carnia 7, things about viticulture and like what goes into making vineyards and so on. Some of them have personal logs as well.
And are those like portable pads, or are they like?
Yes, yeah, you can carry those pads with
Okay,
you if you
then
want.
I will take them with me.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let me ask you a question. Where did Flu's character go? Where did which in relation to me?
We were at the room where Sean was. I went to the right.
So
Oh, okay.
if
So you're over here somewhere. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm actually right there.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Captain's kind of like peeking around this corner here.
Perfect. And just as a friendly reminder, you guys have communicators, so always feel free to communicate. So just okay. So boss has gone, Sylvia has gone. Brennan went, opened that door. Captain, do you want to do anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna peek around this corner, see what I can see, if there's anything there.
There is a door there, and you can open it.
He will.
Okay. Oh, sorry. So, Captain, when you kind of open the door and just peek through it, you see that this seems to be living quarters. There are 4 beds set up on either ends of the living of this room. You too see that the beds are made. There are personal effects in each room. Romulan clothing. Books. Most of them are books. books on like botany and
Yeah,
actually like viticulture and winemaking.
Yeah, he literally does not even barely even take a look at that. He's listening for any sounds of potential people about or anything like that, and hiding in any one of these doors. I'm assuming these are 3 doors here.
Yeah, they're like they're 3 doors, and when as you go up to them, they open up automatically, and you are keeping a keen eye, and you hear nothing. It is like deathly silent.
Yeah, then I would start to backtrack.
Okay, perfect.
I
Elliot.
know you're gonna get to us when they So whenever they catch up, that's fine. But Elliot, so far, he's moving as stealthily as possible, and he's just backing up Rennet and hoping they're both moving stealthily.
I would say if you guys want to, you can roll for it. It would just be your security plus. I think it's, let me check, control.
This is gonna be some Captain Kirk stealth.
Does infiltration apply?
Oh yes, it does apply.
I would assume. So security control, you said?
Security control, yes. With infiltration.
I can't see the momentum thing, so.
Momentum-wise, you have 5 momentum right now.
Task difficulty 1.
Task difficulty 1. Perfect.
I'm sneaky.
Nice. Okay. Elliot.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you like to avoid that complication by giving me threat?
No.
Okay.
I don't. I think that works. He's especially. This is one of his first missions. I think he's probably and Tron is one of his. I wouldn't say heroes, but it's a role model to him. And maybe he's a little starstruck as they're moving through the hallways.
Okay. Elliot, while you're walking and you kind of you don't realize it, but there's actually some there are some broken like implements underneath you, and while you're keeping your eyes on Sean, ensuring that there's nothing ahead of you around the corners, you also end up like walking on these like metallic implements, kind of giving a slight metal on metal kind of screech, like
and he just like stops in his tracks real quick, looks down, realizes what he's done, and then steps off of them diligently, and then just kind of look wide-eyed.
I would freeze when I hear the screech, like, oh, and like sort of jump, and then look around behind me and see that it's him stepping on the implements, and just look at him as he steps off, and just put my finger to my mouth, and wave him to keep following me.
Yeah, and you get a very frantic, quick nod, and he's right back on your tail.
Yeah, at that point, the captain comes up behind you, and he kind of just nods you forward.
Elliot points at the stuff on the ground.
Swamp, I sent you a whisper.
Yeah, and when he pauses, hears the voice of the captain, and then starts listening, and then he notices another noise, and doing that like kind of like Navy SEALs hand motions, makes the eye contact thing, points at the door to the north, and then like kind of puts his back to the wall here.
Mm-hmm. And the Nobunaga kind of mouths like phasers to stun without actually saying it. Let's take them alive.
Okay, so are you guys going to open that door?
Yeah, as soon as everyone's in position with his back to the door, he kind of like slaps the button.
Okay, perfect. So, as you guys slap that button and open the door, you hear two disruptor beams kind of go out at you. I'm spending 2 threat to do this.
So now the question is, who's in the doorway?
Well, you opened it.
Okay, I'm gonna roll.
Yeah, I would say Elliot definitely was one of the first ones.
Okay,
through.
Cool. So, Elliot, as you open the door, you look up and you see 2 Romulan women staring back at you, and they immediately they have the disruptors at the ready, and they let out each of them let out a shot.
Do I roll anything to dodge, or
yeah,
is it
let me
just
get
them
to
trying
that.
hit? Okay.
Yeah, so the first one definitely hits you. The second one is a miss. It kind of goes past your head. It goes with a zing, and I would say that with the door opening and them kind of shooting it, you would have cover. So roll me. You see where it says on your token when you click, you say roll challenge die.
Yeah.
So click that and put 2 in there.
Put 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so roll challenge die 2.
Perfect. So you have a partial cover, and it kind of adds a resistance of 2. So as this disruptor beam comes at you, it basically hits that door that. So as the door is pulling away, kind of opening, this lady in front is kind of also jittery, and you see that they're afraid and also not sure what's happening, and they fire immediately without aiming very well. Part of the shot hits the door. And part of it you take some of the damage. So this is 3 plus its vicious 1, so 3 plus 4 plus 5 minus 2, so you take 3 damage to your stress.
Okay. And he doesn't there's no like armor or anything, right?
No, you guys are not wearing armor at this point.
Didn't think so. Okay, so 3 stress. Gotcha.
Perfect. Okay, so now we enter combat, and you guys go first.
Elliot, you can go first.
Yeah, he's good shot, so.
Yeah, Elliot, probably like as soon as the phaser bolt, or the first phaser shot hits him, is when his goes off. They were a little shaky, and he was pretty quick on his draw, but not quick enough. And as he moves in, he fires that shot
Nice.
at just one of them.
Okay.
So, D20, right?
Yeah, 2d20.
Applicable
to roll
focus, yes.
plain, but you can always add more. You have 5 in the pool right now.
He'll use 1.
Yeah, remember that phaser shots have a difficulty of 2, so we'll keep that in mind. You'll use 1. Okay, perfect.
Oh man.
Ooh,
2 momentum back.
yep.
My boy.
3 momentum back.
Nice.
Oh.
1, 2. Did you do anything as a preparation before shooting, or was it just like a upfront shoot?
I did just straight shoot. Well, I moved.
Okay, cool. So you moved and you just did a straight shot. So, so this would be 1, 2, 4. So this person in front.
It was a stunning shot too, though.
It was a stunning shot, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I see. Okay, so 4. They take 4 damage. And I would say plus those 2. So this person is 3. And you see that they kind of like the shot hits them, hits this person square in the chest, and she instinctively just freezes and like being stunned, and then she just drops to the ground.
Perfect.
Let me give her a proper perfect. Okay, so that's Elliot. Who else?
Sylvia will see what happens up ahead, and she'll kind of turn around to Boss and gesture to the door that's next to them.
Okay. So I just want to be sure, Elliot, you took 1, 2, 3,
3 stress.
Yeah, 3 stress, right? So I can update your token here. So that would be 11. Okay.
So if I create an advantage for Chon, what would that do exactly?
You'll have it's the advantage is a mechanical effect that gives you an opening for role play. So role play wise, what would you do to give Chon that advantage?
I would put down some covering fire so he could get a clearer shot.
Okay, perfect. So I just want to make sure that I have this create an advantage. Perfect. So you use 2 momentum, and you. How does this look?
Yeah, he just looks to Chon. He's like, "Get ready," and he just starts like putting like a lot of fire down, just like suddenly all around. But hopefully to make her move. That's his goal.
Yeah. Okay.
So just like he's just spraying the area as fast as he can with fire.
Okay, so you see that this Romulan starts kind of backing away from your phase of fire, kind of moving towards the center here. Captain, you would also see that the way they're reacting and behaving in this combat situation, you kind of get the sense that they're not like combat trained.
Mm-hmm.
Lieutenant Chon, what is it that you do?
I'm going in. And I'm going in.
Cool.
And I'm shooting. Gotta help out my boy Elliot.
You have 4 momentum in the pool.
I'll use 1.
We should have. We had 5 when I spent 1, and then I got.
Yeah. You have
3 back.
Yeah, I'll use 1.
Okay, so now you have 4.
Give me that focus. Oh, baby.
Ooh. Nice.
If I gotta be good at something, it's...
And roll damage.
Killing. Yeah, I get some.
Okay. You get your momentum back, which you used, and this person also is hit square in the chest and is stunned and kind of falls prone to the ground. And we exit combat.
Yeah.
Elliot realized
Clear
that
the
they
room.
almost acted like civilians. And exactly like he said, he's still scanning the room, but like moving towards the bodies, and then making sure they're not necessarily okay, but not dead.
Okay, I see what you're doing. Yep. So you see that they're the only 2 in the room. Again, here there is like these are like the consoles here on this table right here. You look around and you realize that this is like an office cubicle, and everything around you is clearly related to science in some way or the other. There seems to be various instruments in this room that Elliot you don't have the knowledge in these things to kind of accurately determine what it is, but they definitely seem like scientific implements and instruments.
Yeah, Nobunaga would call back to Boss Hog. Ensign, get in here. I need you to look at something. See if you know what this is. If not, we'll have Lyra come down later.
Can't get in the room.
Yeah, there you go. So, boss, you look around, and the instruments now seem a little different. Give me a reason plus engineering, task difficulty 1.
What's the momentum levels at currently?
We're balling. Use one.
I think we have 5 right now, so.
Let me see what any of my focuses? Probably not. Electroplasma power system.
That's a good one. Yes.
Okay. Difficulty 1.
Difficulty 1. Nice. So that's a good success.
So we're at max challenge die.
Maximum
We're actually
threat.
over max.
So, boss, you notice that these instruments seem to be hooked into the power system, which is kind of strange. These are like very powerful instruments that you're looking at. Most scientific instruments that you know of would generally be like handheld, like your tricorders and your own engineering tools, right? These systems seem to be. You get a sense that they are monitoring. They're like sensors, room sensors, atmospheric sensors, and they seem to be looking for the same thing you guys have been looking for, tachyons.
Okay. Start diagnosing and messing around with it. I'm assuming I can't quite comprehend does it have like writing on it or like literature?
Yeah, there is writing on it. You can definitely see it's Romulan, and using your tricorder, you're easily able to determine what the controls mean.
Okay, well, and be messing around and scanning it. Then eventually, given the proper amount of time, he'll turn to the captain. It appears to be a sensor array of some kind. Oddly enough, they seem to be monitoring the consistency of tachyons in the surrounding area.
And he nods. Well, if you don't think it's harmful for the moment, we won't worry about turning it off. Let's go make sure that there are no more of these Romulans here. And he taps his comm. Can he get through to the ship?
Yes, there is a lot more static this time because you're now inside of that the cliff face, right?
Yeah.
And then there is shielding.
Would I be able to beam these two out from here, do you think?
Yes, you can. I would say it would be easier if you move them out and beam them from there. The cloaking device plus the cliff face is going to make it difficult for your transporter engineer to do it.
Yeah, the captain tells it. Send 2 more ensigns. I want them to and bring just send 2 more ensign security crew wrapping up behind us. There's 2 Romulans down here, and I want them back on the ship and in the brig immediately.
And on the other hand, you hear Commander saying, like, affirmative, Captain. We will send
He just He looks to Chon. He's like, let's keep going. If you can find something here to tie them up with, that's fine.
Understood, Captain. And then I'd collect their weapons and then look for something around here to tie them up with, just in case. I don't know that they'll get up before the other ensigns get here, but...
Yeah, no, you see that they're knocked out cold, and there's nothing really in the... you can tie them up with, like, there is no, like, cabling or anything of that sort.
Mm-hmm. I'll just take their weapons then.
Yeah, you can
Star Trek Ethernet cable.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, as the captain gives me my initial, comment, and about the time he starts to tell everybody to move out, I would like to interject. Boss Hogg would basically go, "Your permission, Captain. This is a sensor array. Who knows? We might be able to detect any other outgoing or incoming communications amongst the Romulan with their own device."
And he nods. Very well.
Captain, I was also in one of the personal quarters, and I found some... what are they called?
Data pads.
Pads.
Yeah.
And I found some pads that held information regarding both botany and winemaking, which doesn't seem like something that the Romulans would have much interest in unless they had some sort of motive behind it.
Yes, I'm sure whatever they're doing here, they have some sort of motive to take over wine production for the Ferengi, perhaps? And he kind of shrugs, and he says...
is it perhaps to cut off our potential alliance with the Ferengi, or perhaps to make their own?
Both, perhaps. Now, enough saying perhaps. Let's go. So he looks to Boss to do that thing, and he's like, find another doorway forward, and let's go. While Boss looks at this, let us know what you find, Boss. Ensign.
The boss, Ensign. So this door is the next one. I would, before, we open this one up, seeing that we, poor Elliot was a shot, of course I would check on him to see if he's, are you doing okay? Sort of stuff. But after I see he's still fine and functioning for the most part, I would try to listen through this door first if I can hear anything on the other end, because I'm sure he made a lot of noise, if there's any movement on the other side.
Mm-hmm. You hear not much, but 1 minute. Perfect. Give me a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget, we are at max threat.
We're not at max threat. I would... You'd probably see Chon look a bit confused for a moment, then have everybody sort of stay clear of the doorway a bit, like try to motion everybody away from the doorway. And then lean up against the door, and
you see Elliot kind of take like this, like how SWAT kind of stands on either side of the door.
Mm-hmm.
So he's on the other side giving you, like crossfire cover in case there's somebody in your blind spot.
And I wouldn't open the door yet. Are these pretty thick? I could hear through it, right? Before we could?
Before you could, but you get the sense that it was because somebody was moving from inside of that room. It was basically, you guys were quiet up until Elliot stepped on those metallic objects, right?
Yeah.
And you get the sense that when he did, it not only surprised you guys, it surprised those two Romulans, and they kind of gave their
And that's
position.
why they moved.
Yeah. But after the firefight that you just had, even though it's not like a long firefight,
It's long enough for them to hear. Yeah.
yeah. So there's somebody else, yeah.
If I was to like sort of maybe not yell but talk loudly through this door, would people hear me? Do I think people would hear me?
You're not sure.
All right, everyone, stay clear of the door. I'm going to open it. Don't return fire. Give me a moment. And I press the button.
Okay. And give me a minute. I just want to make sure when it's set up correctly. Okay. So the door opens. Yes.
So I would stand there for a moment. Listen, I can tell you're afraid. We don't need to fight this over.
And you see this person kind of start kind of moving back, and the disruptor is kind of held out in front of him, and it is like wildly shaking, and he's like, Federation, how did you find us?
And I would keep my phaser down. I mean, it's still out, but I keep it down. It's like, listen, we found your tracks out there by the vineyard. We traced it here. We figured out your stealth shield. Look, we just want to know why you're here. We don't want any more trouble. We don't want combat. Listen, talk with me for a moment. And I'm just gonna slowly start inching my way in.
The captain like grabs you by the shoulder and kind of pulls you back. He's not gonna let you do that. No, Lieutenant. And then he calls over his shoulder. He's like, put down your weapon. You'll be treated with all respect.
How many of you are out there? I see 2 of you. Is there a third one? Are you here to kill me? How can I trust the Federation? You guys are...
Listen. Calm yourself, sir. We are not here to kill you. We want to understand what's going on here. Please. Just lower your weapon. There are 5 of us here. We are not here to kill you.
Okay. You seem to have lowered yours. I will lower mine. I cannot trust the Federation, but then I don't know if it's always propaganda or...
What are you doing here? This is a Federation planet.
And he starts putting his disruptor down. And he says, I go where I'm ordered. I am here on a scientific mission.
To do what?
To study tachyons, of course. Tachyons. The wonder particle.
He frowns.
Have you done anything to influence tachyons in this area? There are quite a few of them. Not only on the planet, but also orbiting it.
And you see that now his kind of facial expression is changing, and he feels safe, right? You guys have not fired. He's confused because the propaganda doesn't seem to be coming true. But then the Romulan in him is kicking in. Like, you can see that he's holding back now. He doesn't know what to do next.
Yeah, Nobunaga would say, look, we are here to help. I understand that you are simply ordered here by your command, and we will treat you with respect. But we need to know what you know in order to save this planet. I don't know if you know this, but it is dying. It has a natural aging effect. If you can help us, then we can help you. The more you can help us, the more we can help you. And I'm persuading here, right?
Perfect. So give me your control plus command.
Mm-hmm. I have focus too.
Yeah, you have focus too. This is a task difficulty 0. You can choose to roll it or not.
I'm gonna roll it to try to get.
You are actually already on 6 momentum, so
Okay, then I don't know that why I would then.
Okay, I just want to give you the option if you wanted to.
Yeah.
And how are you doing this? Like, are you standing behind Rinan?
I'd be kind of like next to him. Anyway,
Okay.
Like side to side.
Okay, and just move Elliot a little bit to the side. At that point, when you say that, Captain, you can see his facial expression changes. And he now realizes who he's talking to. He can clearly see the lapel of your uniform, right? And he can see the 4 pips. And he immediately kind of straightens up a bit because, Romulan or Federation, everyone is trained to kind of stand at attention in the presence of a superior officer. And he says, a captain, a starship captain, here. Okay. And he kind of he regains his composure, right? The fear is now kind of disappearing. The Romulan is kicking in, and
Nobunaga is going to say before he goes in, he's like, yes, I am a Starfleet captain. We do not let our people go into dangerous situations alone or abandon them.
And he's like, you can see that there's this change in his face, and it's like everything that he's taught, he's learned, he cannot comprehend. And he says, Captain, my name is Datok. I am a sub-commander, a science officer, as you can call it. My rank is sub-commander.
Commander, I am Captain Nobunaga of the USS Dharma, here on a humanitarian mission to this planet.
Let me begin by saying, Captain, that it is not by Romulan design or Romulan hand that the tachyons are present on this planet. We have done nothing to create this situation. I am investigating it. Tachyons occur rarely, and when they do occur, they have fascinating effects on the surrounding area. You guys can see from the body language that he's now much more calm. He actually puts the disruptor pistol on the table here. Like, it's in front of him, he can get to it easily, but he's now put on the table, and the body language is relaxed. The Romulan stoicism is kind of returned.
Yeah, Nobunaga asks, how many are you in this station?
Just me, Captain. I'm the last one here. I need to clear this place and leave. The others have left. And then he kind of there's a smile now on his face when he says that, and he's like, and you kind of get the feeling that this is the only opportunity he has to show you guys up. And he says, we detected your ship as soon as you entered the system, Captain. Proverbial, how you say in human, a bull in a china shop or something like that. Yeah, I think that is right. Kind of getting cocky a little bit, knowing that we knew you guys were coming in.
And we know that you've just lied to us, Datok. There were 2 others in the room right next to us.
Huh? 2 others, you say?
Female.
What are you talking about?
did not look like they were trained in military matters, but he shrugs. He's like, to talk. Let me ask you a question. And he kind of he's like, as I've said, we can treat you with respect, but you need to be candid with us. Are there any more people here besides yourself and those two that are stunned in the other room?
At this point, you can see that.
I won't ask again to talk.
So roll me your presence plus command.
And I have diplomacy focus, I'm guessing.
Diplomacy focus. And he's going to
what's the difficulty? Or is it a struggle?
Is 1. It's a struggle, yeah. Task difficulty 1.
I'll use a momentum.
Okay. Nice. And this presence plus...
Man, what a shit roll.
Very nice, Captain.
My presence is 12, so...
you win that round, easily. And how does this look, Captain? Like when you're kind of projecting your presence and your intimidation at this person?
Yeah, I mean, he has his phaser in his hand, right? And he just kind of like grips it again and kind of takes a step forward and nods to his security team. Like basically be ready. And, he's a short man, but exudes...
He casts a large shadow.
Yeah, it exudes a great deal of confidence and, doesn't take any shit, if you will.
Okay, Captain. There are a few Ulans about. They might be in the power room.
Well, Datak, you are the commander, are you not? Tell them to throw down their weapons and come out. No one more needs to get hurt here today.
I can try, Captain, but we will have to go to the power room. But I must say, a Romulan following Federation orders is not kindly looked upon, even by underlings. Sylvia. So, do you want to get that question through?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Nobunaga will let you speak. That's no problem.
It was just like the constant back and forth. There was really no place for me.
Yeah, sorry.
Sure, no problem.
And Sylvia will speak up and she'll go, how long have the Romulans been here before the Federation arrived a few days ago, or today?
I see there's no point in lying. All I know is that this is an observation post that was converted in a extremely quick fashion to study tachyons, which we observed. I believe this observation post has been, I think, 2 years, maybe less.
And Sylvia will turn to the captain with a look of like, 2 years is quite a long time for us to not know that they're Romulan.
He doesn't really respond so much. He just looks back to Datak and says, do you know where these tachyons are coming from and how long they've been at this magnitude? What does your research say?
And you can see, like, every time you guys ask a question and he's like, you're all there at that door. There's the captain leading his group, and it's like you're psychologically kind of breaking him down bit by bit. And he knows he's lost the upper hand, right? Like it's Romulans. They are very strategic in everything they can do, and he has clearly lost the upper hand quite some time back with this entire exchange. And he kind of gives this sigh, like, my readings, if they are correct, the tachyon emissions are originating from the 10th planet in the system, which Federation seems to appropriately call Carnia 10. I have been here a couple of weeks. I think my timeline was less than a week when we first observed these emissions. We also observed what the emissions do. We observed the Mackley house and the effect it had on their child, sorry. Wrong use of
Very good.
tense. And we also observed the effects it had on your pitiful structures. Yes, we observed it had effects on your tritanium alloy. Like you can see he's fighting hard to get his jabs in, but then not push it too far. And he's like, yes, we observed the tritanium aging as well. Very nasty business, this tachyons.
Yeah, so that is why we need to end our conversation, Datak, and hurry this business up. I don't have time to go chasing your engineers and scientists all around this laboratory. Call them out, tell them they'll be treated with respect, or just call them out and don't tell them anything at all. Maybe that would be the wisest.
As you say, Captain, but I will have to go to the power room because that's where they are.
Very well.
I'll walk with him. Make sure no shady business.
Yeah, and Captain sends Elliot over to Boss Hog to get a update. To kind of like scoot Swamp's guy out of the way, maybe.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll pause that action there. You send Elliot back, and Elliot is with Boss. Boss, what would you like to do at this time?
Currently in a sensor array station. Oops, sorry. Headphone all the way up in the air. Yeah, I'm currently in a sensor array station. I'd like to try and use that to monitor and look for signs of communications. Hopefully Romulan communications.
Sure, nice.
This thing is basically monitoring the planet. I would like to try and pinpoint or locate and possibly pinpoint, be it on planet intermittent between Romulan species, even if it's going off planet.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so this would be a reason plus engineering.
What does an advantage actually do?
The way the book explains it is it's a mechanic that I can use to give you guys an advantage based on your role play, right? Like if you kind of go into detail how, like say you're going to like open up the control panel and look at the diagrams and the wiring and kind of do some sort of like circuit jumps, insert some subroutines, stuff like that. It's kind of like an open-ended mechanic that allows you to get an advantage by role play.
Okay, what does it do mechanical wise?
Mechanical wise, depending on when you use it, if you hold on, you can make the task difficulty easier. You can also potentially use it to remove any complications. But those are the main things that you could use it for.
Okay, so it can theoretically just like go up in the air and then based off of whatever. Because what I'm thinking about doing is spending 2 momentum on using their own sensor array Basically,
Ah, yes.
to create an advantage to make it easier to detect them.
Mm-hmm. Makes
Perfect.
sense.
Yes, this is perfect. So you'd use two. You use your two momentum, and I would say,
Basically, it would be like attuning to their own frequencies, basically diagnosing, isolating the frequency that it's using, and then in turn using it, assuming that's a Romulan set frequency, and go to that, and then.
so perfect. So this is what's going to happen. Roll me your reason plus engineering. For that, what you just did, your task difficulty went from 3 to 2, and there is a certain advantage that will be clear based on how you succeed.
So I went from 3 to 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I will spend 2 to create the advantage, and then another 1 to gain an additional die.
Okay.
So that's 3 momentum spent. Usually difficulty. Assuming no focus.
Whew.
Nice.
Huge.
Give me a moment while I send you the
Someone's got to generate threat. Might as well be you. Oh, shit.
Field commission temporarily, so he doesn't have to roll anymore.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna have nightmares.
Fucking planet's gonna melt.
I'm gonna have nightmares about the fucking Federation symbol all night long.
Dear God.
Come on, type faster.
It's currently going on.
No, it's not currently going on. You were able to detect some were made.
Okay. I generally generated 1. And it takes 2 for more info, doesn't it? Oh. I will try to isolate it and immediately hit my comm badge to the captain.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes, Ensign.
Oh, Captain, this is Engineer Hogg. I've made a most interesting discovery. I would urge either you return to the ship or inform Commander Singh that there may very well be a Romulan vessel out there in space, cloaked.
No, immediately he hits his combat and just tries to get to Sing.
I'm going to use 2 of that threat at this point to say you're not able to get through to Sing at this point. You try a comm badge a couple of times. There's a lot more static. It's like it's not going through.
Nobunaga, I can't get through. The static's too much. I need you to get through to him, Ensign. Whatever you can do.
What the fuck?
They just put the pressure on me, man.
That is the perfect. That is just perfect. That's exactly how Star Trek engineers are treated.
Yeah, well, you're the engineer. Get it done.
Immediately
right.
let my pinpoint algorithm, let that run in the background, and maybe try to turn the sensor array in reverse and just basically put a big ass blast from our location up into space. Basically, like shooting out a signal flare.
You could try that. but
yeah, it's meant to detect. It's meant to detect.
yeah, and it'll be very confusing for your ship in a situation like this. I've sent you a couple of messages that you would know as an engineer.
Oh, yeah. I'm assuming I'm not privy to the whole conversation with the Romulan about wanting to go to the power room.
No.
Okay, so immediately I guess I would basically be just. I would eventually, if I could determine or pinpoint the location, that would be cool. But if not, I'd eventually, after fiddling around on the console, I'd just blast it all, just slap my fist into it, and just immediately start waddling. Captain, where is your position? Where are you currently located?
I'm just outside in the hallway, Ensign.
Immediately start waddling my way out, and I'll come out and I'll go, we have to make our way to the power room. I'm going to shut down this infernal cloaking device that's masking this outpost's location. I do believe that might be the source of the disturbance.
The captain nods and looks to talk, and he says, well, we were going there anyway. Ensign Elliot Smith, please escort these Romulans that are stunned outside. We should be getting more visitors soon.
Affirmative, Captain. I shall do that. And Elliot starts kind of heading in there, and he starts picking them up and taking them towards the outside of the entrance. And you guys follow the talk as he starts walking.
Yeah, he nods to Chom to keep a very, very close eye on this guy.
Yeah, I am.
Okay. What's the rest of you guys doing? You'll have to move your token so I know where.
Is he going? Where the fuck did he go? There he is. Jesus. He's quick.
Oh, I would quickly add an addendum and guess whenever the time is. He goes, all right, Captain, it appears that the Romulans had managed to send out previous subspace transmissions to this cloaked, what I'm assuming to be vessel. So our urgency is of the utmost.
Pick up your feet, Commander. Let's go to the power room immediately.
As you say, Captain, as you say. So you guys walk this way. Boss, when you cross this threshold here, right? Just kind of moving you up ahead a little. You see that this room over here is very different from all the rooms you've seen around.
How so?
For one, the metal has a very different sheen and look to it. You kind of get the sense also that its location, the way it's like kind of in the center of this much larger room, is also has some significance. You kind of get a look at the door from an angle, and you sense that it's very different from all the doors you guys have kind of gone through.
So we're basically going to what used to be whatever this race is on the planet's observation post. This appears to be something that has been an add-on. Is that what you're trying to say?
No. So let me put it to this way. So this was
it's the same tech and design, just...
Yes, it is the same tech and design, but it is clearly of a higher level. It's definitely Romulan in origin, right? But while, let me put it this way, while all the walls that seem like stainless steel, this one seems like titanium. I mean, that's a very simple analogy, but yes, like you can clearly see that the material that this room is made with from the outside is.
Yeah, it's probably the basic command. Well, I'm following the captain as per his orders. I'll definitely, I don't know, because their comm badges, they're not personal, they just broadcast. So to tackle here, I'll basically, Captain, ask our captain what that room was where they just passed, please. Says that it might be a possible base of command. the materials were different. They weren't frugal and utilitarian. It appears to have been guarded, more dense in structure.
The captain would be like, "Stop!" to the talk, and then he's like,
as you say, Captain.
What is that room back there? He kind of motions towards it.
And you can clearly hear him give that, that grunt. It's kind of like, he was hoping that you guys wouldn't see it, and he's like, that, Captain, is a clean room. We conduct scientific experiments in there.
Such as?
It allows us to gather tachyon particles and isolate them from other background ambient particles.
Commander, you are not very forthcoming with your information, and I am tired of having to ask you questions over and over again. I have been patient, but my patience is running out. Is there anything else you need to tell me? Please tell me now, or you're going to be just as good asleep on the floor with a nasty headache when you wake up.
Yes, okay, so yeah. That, yes, is a clean room. It is state-of-the-art Romulan technology that allows us to study tachyons at in a much more stable and controlled environment. It was installed not but 3 days ago, and we have learned so much about tachyons. Did you know about that tachyons affect temporal timelines? Like it can cause temporal anomalies? Can you imagine if we can harness the power of tachyons, what we could achieve? Imagine a tachyon burst on, and now he's starting to like ramble on, like he's kind of in this like nerdy moment of his own where he's kind of going like, goo goo gaga of tachyons. Like a single tachyon particle beam on a Federation hull would just render it into rust. Oh, yes.
He's just letting him talk, and he's like, yes, that would be something. Continue to the power room, please.
And in being full disclosure, Captain, I am a science officer. The sub-commander is a rank. It's not the same and doesn't carry the same weight if I was from another division within the Romulan Romulan fleet. Keep that in mind. I will do what I can. And
at the very he just nods and walks behind him.
Okay, so as he walks up front, okay, you guys, is that the marching order you guys are going to establish?
I think it should be, yeah.
Okay, Sylvia, boss, are you guys going to hang back? Are you going to join them up front?
If boss stays back, Sylvia will, but if not, then Sylvia will continue.
Okay, so the talk kind of goes up till here, and he just kind of peers his head in there, and he says, Arquette, can you hear me, Arquette? And there is silence for a bit, and he says, and you can hear from the other side a very, like a frustrated sigh. What is it, the talk? I am busy. Arquette, we have to evacuate now. And then there's a pause from inside. But my orders are to complete this task. Arquette, we need to evacuate now. I've received orders. We must all evacuate now. And from inside, Those were not the orders, the talk. I'm supposed to finish my task and then we all leave. And why are you here talking to me? You're supposed to be destroying all the scientific evidence. Captain and John, give me an insight plus security at this point.
What's
Task
this?
difficulty 1.
Infiltration apply, perhaps, or no?
Yeah, infiltration does apply.
Oh,
2
we're on the
momentum.
same wavelength.
Three
Captain.
total momentum. Yeah.
Hive mind.
Should have just banged on the door and went, housekeeping!
I know.
Urquette, are you questioning my orders? I say right now, stop what you're doing and we have to evacuate.
I would lean over to the captain and whisper, Captain, I think we should perhaps take action here. I don't think this is going to work.
He nods. He looks at the talk and whispers, "Open the door."
And the talk opens the door and he kind of quickly runs across over here.
I can't let him go free, so I'm going to shoot him in the back as he runs away.
Oh, man.
Oh shit! Okay, go for it.
I won't tell anybody, Captain, but I don't know if that's Starfleet authorized.
He looks like he's fleeing to me.
Eh?
He's a Romulan. It's
Your
okay.
samurai ancestors would be proud.
We'll blame it on somebody else in the report.
No.
No,
Retreat,
no.
no surrender.
Go for it. Roll damage. Click on that button.
Okay.
He's gonna fucking kill him.
I'm stunned. I mean, it's for
It's
set to
stun.
stun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so,
Okay.
3.
Good thing we got you to declare that, now and not. Captain's phaser's always on kill.
And
Oh, I know.
how does that look as the talk? You see, kind of, he kind of like freezes like mid-run, like back arched, his hands like kind of like how kind of get hit by it from the back. Your hands kind of go up in the air.
Yeah.
And he kind
Mhm.
of lets out like ah.
Yeah, he shoots him right in the small of the back, right? Just aiming
Mhm.
for center mass, essentially, and just like nonchalantly just shoots him as he's running away. Easiest way to keep a captive right now is just stun him. So.
Nice. And at that point, Sean, you clearly hear from inside multiple voices. What was that, Urquette? Was that the talk? That sounded like phaser fire. And then Urquette's like, what? We seem to have been compromised. Prepare.
And I would, well, let's try to be diplomatic at first. And Sean's gonna lean up against the wall. Arquette, this is Lieutenant Sean, Starfleet. We don't want any more trouble. Come out and let's discuss this peacefully, or we'll have to take you by force.
Starfleet. And you hear
Damn. Oh, they're fucking me up.
No. So you're not even in the line of fire, but you can clearly see that they are now fire. I'm just rolling it to give the effects, and so you guys, as you say that, Sean, you're basically the response you get back from them is pew pew pew. Disruptor fire is being shot at you. You guys are now in combat. What do you do?
Time to get tactical. Okay, I guess I'll go first and
Yeah.
come along to the room here. Did I see where those shots came from?
Yes, most definitely. You see that the shots came from 1 minute, Sean. I need to ensure that. Hold on. What can you see? Okay, fine. So you see that the shots came from here, like this, and kind of came from here, like this, hitting this wall right next to you.
So they came from across the way, like out here.
Yeah, exactly, from there.
Okay. I was like, all right, and then look back to the captain. Captain, I'm gonna cross the room. We can get a crossfire, and I'm going to go balls out and to there, and I'll probably be able to shoot after that. But I'm gonna try to sprint across.
Okay.
Target.
Sprint would be your
Security fitness.
security fitness, but it's difficulty 0. And you kind of move into repeat. Yeah. So, and not all characters can.
I'm not rolling for that. The
No,
complication
don't roll
of
for
that
it. No.
is- Yeah, no. Complication on that would be fucking horrible. My shoes ain't
Yeah.
tied.
So your sprint would be your action. It would be your task. So you can sprint up till there, and that's all you can do right now.
Fine by me.
Okay. So you move up here, take cover. Perfect. Captain, what do you do?
Captain kind of takes his spot where it was, and so he moves, and then he tries to shoot. What is this stuff right here in the middle?
Sure. 1 minute. Can you ping it again?
Kind of
Those
hexagon
seem to
things.
be like containers, boxes.
Not in my line of fire, then, from here.
No, you can definitely get to that person over there.
Yeah, I will shoot at him.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. Sorry. What just happened? I'm going to use the momentum.
Go for it.
Oh, baby.
Roll that damage.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
Captain, my captain.
So you when you roll 5 or above, you actually suffer an injury. So, Captain, what you see is as you shoot that your phaser fire, this Romulan takes it, but at the last minute he's able to kind of jump out of the way, so he doesn't take the injury.
Okay.
And I use to threat to.
And I'm going to I'm going to use a determination to I'm going to do follow my lead. So once per scene, when you succeeded a task during combat or another perilous situation, you may spend 1 determination. If you do, choose a single ally. The next task that ally attempts counts as having assistance from you using your presence and command, and that would be to Chon. And then to piggyback on that, whenever a character spends, this is veteran, whenever a character spends a point of determination, roll 1 challenge dice. If it's an effect, I gain my determination back immediately.
Go for it. Awesome.
Alright. So I should be rolling challenge die, right? Okay. Roll an effect.
Oh,
Nice.
You get your determination back. Nice. John, you have gone. So, but the next time you go,
Yep.
Sorry.
Whoa, I'm so fired up, my captain. I'm just dropping my phaser and going to my fucking hands.
You remember the training I gave you.
Awesome. Sylvia,
I'm one with
what do you do?
Starfleet.
And these boxes and stuff aren't like big enough that if I run up, I could have cover behind them.
Yes. If you crouch down, yes.
Yes, then I'm going to run up over to about right there and
Okay.
take cover behind those and try to fire at this one.
I would say that would be a sprint because you're going from.
Okay.
So that would be your turn.
All right. Then I will
Okay.
take cover here, and that will be
Perfect. Boss, what do you do?
This is the room. Move and guard.
Okay. For that you can.
Yeah, basically saying like, crouch down.
I can't hear you. I think your headphones again up in the air.
Oh yeah, it's up in there. Sorry. Yeah, do a move and a guard.
Okay,
Move,
perfect.
Move as a minor, and then use whatever this console is. Crouch down.
Oh, nice, perfect, excellent. Okay, and this guy.
I don't know. It says a task is a difficulty 0. I don't know what I need to roll. Or...
No, if you don't want to, you don't have to roll it. And
Well, if I succeed, it increases the difficulty made against me.
Maybe that is worth it, then.
Maybe.
And you'll probably generate the momentum if you. Oh.
No, it's well,
It doesn't matter.
Failed.
Mm-hmm.
That was
Nice.
one of their tasks, but
Oh.
okay, excellent. And then this guy who you just shot is gonna look around and he's gonna try and shoot at Chon. And it goes completely wide. There's one Romulan here. He's trying to, get a bead on Sylvia and Boss. Sylvia is hiding behind the containers. Boss is behind the other container guarding. He can barely see the captain, so he's going to try and attack Chon also.
distraction worked.
Nice. Chon, you're up.
Okay, so what was the bonus from the captain again?
I have to do an assist, so I do an assist with presence and command, so I'll roll that. Assist is only 1 die, is that correct?
Yes,
Mhm.
1 die.
And I have, I think I have a focus for this because I have inspiration. Yes?
Yes, you do.
Inspire me, my man.
Okay. I would like to do this a little roleplay wise, so just give me a moment,
Yep.
Captain.
Which one are you talking about?
1 minute. Let me do this now that pretty much everybody knows what it looks like. There we go.
Oh my god.
There we go. That guy.
Yeah. Captain would say, Chon! The Romulan directly in front of you. He didn't fire back. He's doing something with the controls. Stop him.
Understood,
That's-
Captain.
That's like right after he shot the first time, right?
Yeah.
And come around this corner here, see him up there, and if I can, do I see him from there?
Yeah, you would see you from there.
Okay. I'm tempted to use a value to protect those I hold dear, maybe? Because this guy might be doing some shit that's going to make things very difficult for all of us
Mm-hmm.
and put us in a painful situation. So I'm thinking about using determination there. I need to remember that's an automatic success if I use it for just a die 20.
Yes, so it becomes an automatic success on...
Now, realize you'll have an extra die from me to roll though, right?
Yeah.
Perfect.
you
So
have
I can fucking demolish him even harder.
Yes.
So that's an
what
auto success. Then. Yeah.
So you already have you already have an auto success with the one die,
Mhm.
right? You anyway roll 2 dice for your phaser attack, and you have a third die because of the assist from the captain.
Mhm.
So do you want to use your determination now, or just roll the 3 dice?
Yeah, use it. This seems fairly important to stop. So yeah,
Okay, go ahead. Make your phaser attack.
it's with 3. So is it with 3 dice?
Yeah, roll it with 3
You could also use a momentum as well.
No, 3 dice is fine. I've got the automatic success banked. I'll use the 3 dice and. So, phew. It's a lot of successes.
So you have a total of 4 successes.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, roll your damage. Okay, so that is 2 plus 1, 3 plus 1 effect. Do you want to use any of that momentum to
Weapon effects.
Yeah, what I would say is you can use that momentum to do a disarm.
Yes.
Perfect. So you use that momentum, you use 2 momentum, disarm, and your damage hits. So perfect. And you do 4 damage. And you see from his hand actually like his tools actually kind of go clattering to the ground. And he kind of like reaches out and like, Federation scum. Perfect. Next up, Captain.
The captain looks like he is blocked from shooting anybody.
Mhm.
Correct? This is who I shot
you have
last
to kind
time.
of move in a little more to kind of get to those guys, like somewhere around here maybe, to get a good line of sight.
Yeah, I don't want to get out in the open. I'm gonna sprint over to where Chan is. Like,
Okay, perfect, awesome. And Sylvia, what do you do?
So I'm going to take a shot at this one.
Go for it.
Alrighty.
Do me proud, fellow red shirt.
point blank in the face.
It's 2 dice. I have focus, right? I have phasers.
Yes, you have focus, and both of you have partial cover, so
Huge.
roll your damage.
Oh my.
Jesus.
Ooh, holy shit.
9, 10. Yep, you knock this guy out. I'm gonna say, even if I roll my cover dice, it's not gonna make any difference.
Jesus. Sylvia's better than she thought she was.
Well done, Ince.
She's very surprised as she kind of moves back into cover. She's like, "Thank you."
Boss, you're up.
What type of room is it? Does it look like it was designed for?
This is definitely the power room. There are like there's a big kind of power generator over here. There is a power generator over here. In this room right here, there seems to be like consoles.
And this thing that I'm at currently,
Mm-hmm.
what is it?
I would say it's a container. Yeah, it's more like a container giving you some cover. Actually, wait, sorry, my bad. My bad.
Actually, it looks like a console.
Console. It is a console. Yes, you can access the power systems from there as well.
Okay, I want to get on there and try to use a control and engineering, and I'm going to try to. basically going to get on. Like, you see Boss Hog crouch down, the hands just start filling on one of the consoles, and you'll start seeing, hopefully, the power green out around the monitors. You'll see like data start scrolling across it, and all of a sudden, as it does, you'll see one of the monitors go and blow up. I'm trying to basically use control and engineering to create an advantage.
Nice.
Checks against this guy.
Okay.
You're basically trying to reroute and short circuit the nearby power circuit and create it for anybody that's
nice.
If you want to, it would be the next person that attacks him.
Yes.
Human advantage.
Yep. So I've removed 2 momentum from your momentum pool for that advantage. And
I actually get to make a roll. It's a combat task.
Oh yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Sorry. Yeah. My bad.
Yeah. Only if in engineering, I have incisive scrutiny, so I'm going to try to find the weak spot in the circuits. Basically, the way to over. When I use a task involving control, I gain 1 bonus momentum.
Okay.
Oh, never mind. I thought I reduced the difficulty number. Never mind. I'll just shut up. How much momentum is create? It's a difficulty 2. I will spend 1. Do you think I would have it on power systems?
Mm-hmm.
Difficulty 2.
Oh my god.
Nice. Excellent. I would
Your
say
challenge die.
Roll a challenge. I would say that given such a success that you have there, you basically blow out that this control panel completely, causing this guy to take some damage. I would say like maybe 2 damage, and he's completely kind of taken aback by that explosion, and he cannot act this turn. This guy curses under his breath the fact that you made him drop and disarm. So with his other arm, he picks up that tool again, and he tries to complete the task he was trying to do. Going to use a threat for this.
Oh man!
Nice.
You're
So I like to see.
Amazing.
You guys are back up again. Who goes first?
Goes what? Yeah, why don't you let me go first because I might be able to assist you if I use a determination if I'm successful.
Go ahead.
So Nobunaga just now that he's over there just shoots at him.
Okay. Go for it.
So it should be 4.
I'm shooting this guy.
4.
What is 4?
I was just saying the momentum.
Oh,
Because it was 3 down. 3 down to 2. Then I gained 2 excess.
Oh, well done. Oh.
Yep. I would say you drop him.
Okay.
How does that look?
Yeah, I mean, he just like shoots. He like levels the phaser over the crate and shoots the Romulan in the back. He's good at shooting him in the back, it appears, and hits him right in the small of the back again, and puts him down.
Nice. And with that, the other Romulan, he kind of like raises his hands in the air, and you can see that. Wait! And he kind of puts his disruptor down, and he kind of has his hands up like in the air.
Ensign, secure that Romulan. He's talking to Sylvia.
And she will do so.
Okay, so Sylvia, you kind of walk up to this guy over here, and you have your phaser, Type 2 phaser, kind of aimed right in his chest.
And the captain. Ensign Hogg, get this power shut off.
So, Hogg, you know that you'll have to move to this place because you kind of blew out the panels over here.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm securing all the weapons because I don't want anybody to have weapons but us at
So
all.
we're over here.
Right,
No,
up
here.
there where the unconscious guy is. I'd also bring Detox in because I don't want him to be out in the hallway either by himself.
Okay. Perfect. You bring Detox in. You kind of make like a little pile of Romulans. So you just,
Pretty much.
yeah.
Everybody keep them all together in
Yeah.
case the transporter works again.
Okay. So, boss, when you get up there, you see that this is a pretty much standard Romulan, power configuration. You've seen this in the specs that you've read in Starfleet, right? Like the whatever Starfleet intelligence has been able to get their hands on. It is a straight-up task, control plus engineering task difficulty 1. You also notice something interesting that right between these two panels over there, right there is a small black-looking package that the Romulans seem to have been trying to attach to these consoles.
Ooh, explosives. Is it attached? I'll definitely raise a hand. Who the hell's trying to come over here, Captain? I'll go, no, get away, Captain.
You see that
Stuff.
he was just starting to get it to attach, and it's not yet attached. At this point, it is stable and inactive.
Okay, I do believe I found an explosive device. And I'll definitely, if I can, try to pick it up and move it, make sure it's not active, and then show it what it looks like. Go, be on the lookout for others. They may be armed.
Okay.
So that's what he was doing. Get the power off, Ensign. We need to contact the ship.
Yeah, definitely look for the cloaking device. Try to cycle
Yeah,
through.
so you're able to quickly find it, and you find also the power system. So give me control plus engineering task difficulty 1. Nice.
Give us that momentum.
Baby.
And boss, you're able to quickly discern the necessary subroutines required to turn the power off to the station, and suddenly like the lights flicker out, they go out, and then the emergency power lights come on.
Yeah, the captain's on the horn right away.
And you now this time receive Commander Singh on the other. Yes, Captain.
Captain, you have a Romulan bird of prey up there, cloaked.
And then you hear him kind of, given the fact that you guys are in Federation space, you can kind of hear Commander Singh kind of red alert. You hear that over your comm badge, like when he says red alert, you can hear your ship go into red alert.
Commander, we're going to be stand by to beam us up plus prisoners. Ensign Sylvia and Ensign Smith will remain here to secure the station and the ensigns that you've sent down. The rest of us will beam up.
Affirmative, Captain.
And the captain goes and to the others. Let's get the Romulans outside.
Cool. So you guys, all of you, kind of move the Romulans outside the cavern. You can see Elliot is already there. He has the other two science officers moved to the cavern. There are two more security officers, ensigns, along with Elliot, who are now seen to be guarding the area. Are you going to take the prisoners up right now with you, or just the three of you beam up?
No, the prisoners will beam up too.
Okay.
And the
Cool.
captain says to Sylvia, he's like, do not let anyone in here. unless it's us.
Of course, sir.
Okay. So you guys do that. You beam up back to the ship. The prisoners are kind of escorted. They're still kind of unconscious, so security officers kind of drag them and put them in the brig, while the captain, boss, and Lieutenant Sean get to the bridge. And on the bridge, you already see Salis at the helm control,
Mm-hmm.
and this Brennan is there. Boss is at the engineering controls. Yep. And then Lyra is there at the science controls.
Yeah. The captain kind of walks in and nods as he does so. He's like, "Status report."
Hold on. Okay. Commander saying, he kind of turns to you, "Captain, there seems to be no activity around here. And you guys know that detecting cloaked Romulan ships is not possible with current technology. There's nothing out of the ordinary happening around this planet right now."
He sits in his chair and he's like, "I have an idea. We broadcast to the Romulans that we have their tachyon field intact on the planet with their technology. And if they want to parlay, then they need to decloak."
Okay, hold on. So let's take a step back.
Mm-hmm.
The Romulans were studying the tachyon emissions, and the clean room was something that allowed them to capture the particles. They are not the source of the tachyon emissions.
Oh yeah, yes, I understand that. I'm saying that we have their technology to do that because Datak seemed like he thought it was pretty great. Right.
Okay. So are you going to make that like a general broadcast?
No, I'm asking for advice if that is a good idea.
Okay.
That was me in character saying that to you.
Oh, okay. I thought that was an order. Okay.
No.
Okay. The rest are free to chime in at this point.
Would a general broadcast be something that's broadcast out around this quadrant of space, or around?
Oh, it would be just probably anything in orbit or maybe this system. I wouldn't want to.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much Romulans. The thing is, Romulans might care about other Romulans, so that could be a bargaining chip.
They're pretty cold, but
not when it's related to this kind of research.
But they deal with things rationally and just let them. Well, if they fire upon the planet, it's kind of a weird. If you basically say that, just saying to a hidden Romulan vessel out there.
Alice turns in her chair and she goes, "We don't know how many of them there might be."
He would communicate down to Ensign Hogg. Ensign Hogg, was there any evidence that there's more than one ship?
Was it just tight beamed to one location that it was being broadcast?
You when you were at that sensor array, you know that the messages are sent out into space, and you get the sense that there's just one ship from the way, like, just basically by reading, if you remember your readings correctly, like, just get the sense that it's one ship, but you're not sure where that ship is.
As far as I could tell, it appeared to be direct calls made to one vessel only.
He nods to himself.
What do we know about Romulan cloaking devices?
We could just essentially call them out, Captain. I mean, if we know they're there, we broadcast that. They have no reason to hide. They may simply confront us, speak rationally, reasonably with us.
Perhaps, or they could remain cloaked and attack us. This would be the start of a war. He kind of...
Well, that's what you could use that against them too. Broadcast to a Romulan vessel out there, hiding out there. It says you're in registered Federation space. Your actions by default are an outright act of war. If you wish to avert such an occurrence, identify yourself now.
That ain't bad.
And at that point, Commander Singh kind of turns to Captain and he says, Captain, if I may, it is very odd for Romulans to venture into Federation space so boldly. Was it the tachyons they were after, or was it the wine and the vineyards?
And he looks at Singh and shrugs, and it's hard to say, but they were not there. I mean, they were there for two reasons, I would think. They definitely were studying the tachyons. The prisoner we have, Sub-Commander Detalk, spoke of perhaps weaponizing the tachyons.
Yes, that would make most sense when it comes to Romulans. They would weaponize something as detestable as tachyons.
And he nods and he's like, be ready. And he nods to the communications officer. Open a channel.
And your communication officer says, channel open, Captain.
Unidentified cloaked Romulan vessel. This is the USS Dharma, Captain Oda Nobunaga. You are in... what's the word I'm looking for?
Violation.
Yes, you are in violation of the Romulan and Federation treaties. You being in this system cloaked or otherwise is a act of war. Show yourself immediately.
There's a couple of, about 10-15 seconds of silence, and your communication officer turns on. There is no response, Captain. On any frequency, sir.
Very well, Romulan vessel. We have a half dozen of your scientists in our brig. We will begin to interrogate them immediately.
Again, there is some silence, and there is no response again.
He waves his hand to turn off the comm.
And says, comms closed, Captain.
Ensign Hogg, do you think you can do anything to find out where they're at?
How do Romulan? I can't remember how Romulan. Is there anything that will actually attract tachyons?
So the question here would be, and you guys did stumble upon it, just trying to recollect. You found something when you spoke to the talk. Boss, I've sent you a couple of whispers as well.
Should I actually begin interrogations, Captain, in the meantime?
No, I doubt they know anything.
Running various programs now, Captain. I'm trying to maybe come up with some kind of solution. I advise remaining at red alert till the computer Doctors tell me something.
So perfect.
Is this do they float around like plankton, or are they like being broadcast in a direction? Because if they're being broadcast in a direction, I'd like to try and backtrack them. Tachyon.
I would say actually, you don't have that kind of equipment on board. Instead, I would say,
The facility down there was for detecting and monitoring tachyons.
Yep, correct. But that's the facility down there. It's a ground facility built specifically to detect tachyons. If you could detect tachyons, then you would not have to go down there, correct? If your ship could detect tachyons to that precise location. However,
yeah, they didn't booby trap the sensor room.
no.
Yeah, he's saying he could go back down there, I think.
Definitely, I'm thinking to collect the data to maybe attune our sensor arrays to the knowledge that they have programmed on theirs. Because if we, what it is basically get the save file of what they have and the program that they have, copy it, put it on the Enterprise, and then we can use it to use the Enterprise as a damn sensor.
Yeah, I mean, yes, Cypher, I do remember that, but I don't know. We're trying to find them, not where the source of the tachyons are. Am I correct?
The two could be related, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. I know where you're going then. Okay, so
yeah, because my gut is they're obsessed with wine farming, and the wine is mainly used to maintain balance with the Ferengi. They might be using tachyons to try and alter the wine, or to maybe even steal the growing techniques to try and grow their own damn wine to influence the Ferengi.
yeah. So Nobunaga says, Ensign Hogg, do you think you can quietly scan the 10th planet of this system? Datak said that was where the tachyons were being emitted from. Perhaps the ship has docked there.
Sound strategy, Captain. I'll see what I can do. Well, I'm down in engineering. That would be something the comms upstairs would do, and
I would say to kind of help with the role play and
yeah, it would be like trying to assist to boost the scan.
Yeah, no, I just actually put you on the bridge along with everybody else. So sometimes it's just easier for everybody to be in the same room than kind of going back and forth. Remember, in starships, you have access to engineering consoles from here. Unless you're trying to do something very, very intricate, you can do most things from the bridge. So for that particular task, I would say it would be
definitely whatever our science officer was, that would be try to work in conjunction with them.
Yeah, so I would say roll a reason plus science with the task difficulty of 2, and you can use the ship's sensors for this. The ship sensors can assist you, so they will give you a 1d20, which you can roll off the ship.
Difficulty 2.
Task difficulty 2, yeah.
I know my ship, I think that might only be for repairs, to determine the source of a technical problem. Never mind. We'll go focus sensor person, so no. And the ship.
Well done.
The ship, and since you kind of generated that complication and not a success, the ship won't be able to help. So basically, what happens is, as you're trying to do that, you program in the wrong sequence, and it kind of goes like, the computer basically gives you Captain, kind of to speed things up, and knowing that there is, the way our team is set up, you can control Lyra and do the
Sure.
same exercise.
Okay. What does she need to roll?
In her case, it is reason plus science. She for task difficulty 2.
Pushing buttons, get real embarrassed and angry at himself because he screwed up.
What is her focus? Foci. Probably nothing. No.
Astrophysics applies.
Okay. Difficulty 2.
Difficulty 2. Okay, and then I need to make a nice
Go
token.
computer.
So go click on the USS Dharma from the
I'm on the sheet.
on the sheet, yeah, and then click on sensors plus, and then choose science. Focus applies.
You can do it. Huge.
Nice.
She reports that a large amount of tachyons from the 10th planet. An overwhelming amount. And the captain nods and... Well, if the Romulans are here or not, we need to turn off that tachyon. Stop the tachyons from being emitted, so... And he looks to Salus. Bring us closer.
As you wish, Captain. And she does.
Awesome. So, Silas, you engage the impulse engines of the ship, and the ship gets out of orbit from Carnia 7, and you guys get closer to Carnia 10. And as you get closer, you can see it on your view screen. It seems like a gas planet that has a ring system around it. While Lyra is continuing to monitor the tachyon emissions, it is definitely pretty high up here. Your shields are up as you continue to approach this planet. Do you proceed?
I mean, that's the captain's call if we stop.
Yeah. I'm going to be giving it a wide berth, but yes. And scanning all the while for any...
Okay.
And he does say, Ensign Hogg, make sure you make sure that the stability of the hull is monitored as we get closer.
Hogg, at your disposal, what you can do is you can do control plus engineering, and apply your what is that? What is that? Control plus engineering with I know my ship. One of those to boost the shields of your ship.
I know my ship's just to determine a technical problem.
Okay, then you can use fusion reactors to boost the shields of your ship.
Okay, I don't have a token on this map.
Yeah, you just use that from your sheet.
Oh, okay. And it was what again? Engineering?
Yeah, control plus engineering, task difficulty 2, and your focus of fusion systems apply.
Okay. So I'll spend 1 momentum.
Okay.
difficulty 2.
Uh-huh.
Nice.
Nice. How does that look?
You want me to what, reinforce? He'd be basically saying monitoring. He says, already using what information I collected from below. I said, I'm trying to use our own energy source to perhaps repel the tachyons. So far, systems are holding. If the threat gets too high, I'll immediately cease desist.
Just let me know, Ensign.
So, and you guys start approaching the planet?
Yes.
I don't have a challenge die to roll. So let's roll a die 6.
Oh,
That's another threat.
That's another threat.
Well done, Ensign.
Somebody promote that man.
He's gunning for that promotion. It's like, hey, I'll fuck up your whole life. Watch me.
So you guys get closer to the planet now. Do you see the ship now? And
Yes.
and it should bring the planet up close and into view. And the planet is clearly a gas giant with a ring system around it. And as you guys are seeing, you can see like the sun, right? The sun of the system out there in the distance. As you guys are watching on your view screen, you see something amazing in front of your eyes as this ship starts drifting slowly from like around the horizon of this planet.
Is it a Federation ship?
Yeah. It's a Federation Constitution class ship.
I hail that ship immediately.
And with that, we shall end tonight's session.